Mr. Mathur, thank you very much for speaking to Autocar Professional.
Thank you.
Really appreciate your time. I want to start off this conversation by asking you about the two-wheeler segment per se. Over the last few months and maybe in fact years, it's been going through a rough patch. The recovery is in the making. So your thoughts on that?
Yeah, this year we have seen robust growth coming in for the two-wheeler market, and especially till YTD of August, the industry has grown by around 16%. And out of this 16% growth, primarily the growth drivers are scooters, which has grown by around 24%, and motorcycles around 13%. Right? And in this also, if you look at primarily the growth is coming from 125cc class of the consumers, both in the scooters and motorcycle.
Right. So are you bullish about this continuing, and what outlook do you have for by the end of this fiscal for two-wheelers?
Yeah, so what we are expecting is that this growth momentum will remain continue, and especially now we are on the cusp of the festival.
Right.
And this time the festival is actually revolved in only in single month. Normally this is spread to 2 months. So this time we are all having fingers crossed for October numbers. So we are expecting good retail coming in for October.
Right. And for HMSI, there's also good news coming in. You recently overtaken Hero MotoCorp to, emerge as the leading player there. So what would you attribute your growth there, to have overtaken Hero MotoCorp?
See, frankly speaking, we are not chasing number one. So that is just a resultant, because we never know in terms of what is the kind of numbers they will be clocking. So what we are actually looking at is in terms of continue to excite our consumers by providing best of the class products and the services which we can render from our dealer partners, which is spread almost close to around 6,400 pan-India.
Okay.
So we continue to excite them in regard to the services being given, and along with the product portfolio which we have tweaked, especially after the BS6 to OBD2A transition. We have launched many new models including Shine 100, Neo 125 and SP 160. Which is also helping in terms of increase in the numbers. Right. And last year in the first few months, we had supply chain, especially the semiconductor issues which are going on. So we tweaked our supply chain, and then this year, fortunately, we were able to do good numbers.
Right. And what's the update on the premium segment where you operate with the Highness and the other motorcycles from the BigWing brand? So what is the update there for us?
That segment currently is not growing as per our expectation. We were going that it should grow, but currently it is in the flat range, around 2% growth, which is happening as of now. So what we understand is that despite of lot of launches and many new players also coming in, that particular segment is still not evolved as expected.
Okay.
So to make more excitement, we are also looking at in terms of what kind of consumer needs are there, whether they are changing and they are looking at something more adventurous. Mm-hmm. So we are also studying all those trends which are being reflected by our existing consumers as well as those customers which are currently not getting converted. So we continue to study that, and basis on that, we'll bring in product to make that particular segment more exciting in the future.
Any short-term measures also that you've identified that you can deploy immediately to revive the segment a bit?
See, currently our reach is limited to only 147 networks pan-India, and we are also looking at there are multiple areas where our response and the expectation from the customers is very high that you should be there. So in the immediate measure, we are expanding our footprints into certain market which currently are not represented by us through BigWing setup. Mm-hmm. So we'll be expanding in the recent coming months so that we can reach closer to the consumers and the market.
Which are some of these markets?
So these are from eastern market as well as some of the southern market we have been expanding.
More tier 2s and tier 3?
Tier 2 and tier 3.
Right. And also, Mr. Mathur, we're seeing this transition to electric mobility, and which is quite strong in the two-wheeler category per se. So your views on that and HMSI's plans going forward for EVs?
So HMSI is also equally committed to have a carbon neutral and sustainable mobility solutions for the future. And we already showcased our flex fuel model in Bharat Mobility, which held in 2024 February. And during which we already showcased one model, so that will also be launched this year. And along with that, we will also coming up with the EV very soon. Oh. So we are also equally excited and responsible to make sure that in the carbon neutral footprint, we are also having our equal presence in that. So we'll be also coming up.
Any penetration or any share of sales you have already identified that the EV will bring in the overall HMSI portfolio?
See, currently it is under nascent stage and it's in the evolution right now. So we'll continue to see and continue to ramp up our production to make sure that we are able to cater to the growing demand and the needs of the consumer in that segment. So we'll continue to evolve across all the segments and powertrains.
Mm-hmm. But have you already identified which location at HMSI the EV is going to be manufactured?
Yes, we have identified.
Right.
So once we invite you for the next event, we will have a more detail.
Right. And are you also looking at establishing the EV ecosystem as well? Because a lot of your competitors have gone ahead and partly and recent charging infra players and all. So is that also going to be a similar?
Yeah, so we are also looking at completely giving the solution to set up and help in terms of creating that ecosystem in it.
Right.
And we are understanding that there are a lot of pain areas, especially on the infrastructure front. So we'll also look at in terms of how we can contribute to, overall evolve the market in India.
Mr. Mathur, thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you. Just